So like we talked about previously, we have our first person in which we're talking about ourselves. I in the singular, we in the plural. We have we have our second person in which we're talking to someone. To someone. You run. Hey, you run. You sing. You dance. Or you all. You all run. You all sing. You all dance. Okay, do you see the difference between singular, you're talking to one person, plural, you're talking to more than one. And then third person, you're talking about somebody. Okay, maybe they're not even in the room. Maybe they're not even alive. You're just talking about somebody. You're talking about somebody. Have you ever heard of when somebody says you're talking about yourself in the third person? Like if I said, Miss Bentley is taking notes right now. First is weird, don't do that, right? But I should be saying I in the first person. But if I'm talking about myself in the third person, I'm like using my own name. It's strange. So in the singular, it'd be a he, a she, or an it. So maybe he runs, she runs, it runs. You could say like the refrigerator, it runs well. So that's a he, a she, or an it. And in the plural, it'd be a they. So they run. So you're talking about someone or something. Okay, so this is our chart. This is what we absolutely need to memorize. We need to write it over and over again. O-S-T, M-U-S-T-I-S-N-T, right? Sung to that Mickey Mouse theme song. O-S-T, M-U-S-T-I-S-N-T. Yep, good. M-U-S-T-I-S-N-T. I knew you'd love that. Okay, and then what are we going to do with these words? Okay, so now we have these endings, right? We're going to conjugate them. So let's conjugate a verb. All right, let's start with the verb woko. All right, so when you see a verb, it is listed like this. Woko, wokare. Remember V is pronounced like W? Okay. All right. To call. Okay. The woko is I call. Right? This guy here tells us that before endings, we're going to put A's. You're always going to put A's before your endings until Latin 2. Okay, but eventually this will matter in Latin 2 when we start putting E's before endings. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So let's make our chart, right? First person, second person, third person, singular, plural. Find the stem of our verb. Okay. Woka. There's our stem. They already give you the first one, woko. So just write that. Then write your stem. The stem stays the same. It always will be. There never will be an A before that O. And it tells you that in the definition of woko, wokare. So it gives you the first one. And then the second one is called the infinitive of the verb. So it's not conjugated, it just means to call. There's no subject. Okay, in Spanish there's infinitives. An infinitive is just an unconjugated verb. It doesn't have a subject. And then you're just going to add your endings. So we already have our O, right? Woco, wocas, wocat, wocamus, wocatus, wocant. And then let's see what these mean. So again, you're going to look at your chart, right? If something ends in an O, who's doing the action? Who? I what? What's the definition? I call. Yep. Wocas, if it ends in an S, who? You call. If it ends in a T, who is doing the action? He, she, or it calls. If you don't know, you can always just say he. Okay, but you don't have to. You can choose.
Is it singular? What? It's an S.
But it's a verb. It's a verb. It's a verb. Yep, it's a verb. But look it. So Ricky noted that call became calls. Guess what that means? You're conjugating in English. Do you ever hear non-English speakers make mistakes like he call you today? Yes, and we hear it and it sounds so bad to us, but all they're doing is they're not conjugating their verb correctly. You don't know that you've been conjugating your verbs from day one. You just know how to do this. You're not thinking, oh, okay, I'm saying he, so I need to do third person singular. Okay, but if English isn't their first language, they need to go through the chart to see calls up, he calls. So it seems so easy to us, but this is why it's a little bit more challenging. All right, wocamus, M-U-S, who is doing the action? We call, wocatis, T-I-S, who? You all call. And wocant, N-T. They call. Okay. And you just conjugated your first verb. So let me put these into two sentences for you so you can see. Okay. Two Latin sentences. Nominative. Verb. Accusative. The woman, one, right, calls the girl, right? The girl's receiving the action of the verb. You see singular, right? Because there's one woman. The woman calls the girl. X just means and. So in the second sentence, we have the woman and the poet call. They call. Do you see how you have a plural subject? Do you see that here you have a singular subject, one woman? If you have a singular subject, one woman, you have a singular verb, meaning your verb ending will be on this side of the chart. Here you have a plural subject. You have a woman and a poet, they, right? You have a plural subject, plural nominative, plural subject, so you're on this side of the chart. Plural verb, you have to check that as you're translating. Plural subject, plural verb. Okay, this word at and is one of your vocabulary words for the chapter. At. So your vocab can be found on page 11. It's broken up into 3 sections. The first 2 words are just nouns. Just so we don't forget how to decline nouns and how nouns work, right? Amicatia, friendship. Have you heard of the word amicable? They have an amicable relationship. Amigo in Spanish.
Oh, right.
Yep. And then patria. Think of patriotic, patriarch, right? Patria is homeland or country. Those are just normal nouns like we had last chapter. Then we have our section of verbs. Amo, like think of amor. Okay, love. Mi amor, yeah, that's all stemmed from the Latin word amo. Dare is to give, think donation. Laudo, think of the word applause. Okay, applaud comes from laudo. Okay, so you're praising something. Now we go to sail, think navigation. Occupo, seize or occupy. Yeah, exactly, good. Paro, to prepare. Preparation. Porto, to carry, think portage. Right, if you're gonna portage something, you carry everything you have on your back. Pugno is to fight. Pugilism. Fighting, if somebody's pugilistic, they love to fight. It all stems from this Latin verb pugno. Specto, to look at, right? Spectate, spectacle, spectacles, like your glasses. And then voco, to call. Think vocal, vocal cords, vocalizing. And then you just have these little words that help you to form sentences. Known means not. So maybe instead of saying woco, I call, you'd say non woco, I don't call. Et means and, right? We just said that. Femina et poeta, the woman and the poet, just linking 2 things together. Sed is but. Ad, we talked about, is towards. Remember, that's always followed by accusative case, and then cum meaning with. So let's do just one sentence with each of those little connecting words. So woco would be I call. Known, woco, I do not call. So it's just a way to make sentences negative.
Is known, is that where the French came from?
Yeah. Good. All right, at meaning and. So you could say femina et poeta vocant. The woman and the poet call. Again, woman and the poet makes a plural subject. That's why vocant has a plural verb ending. Okay. Femina vocat. Quelam. The woman calls the girl, I'm sorry. The woman calls the girl, but femina non vocat poetam. But the woman does not call the poet, poor poet. Said meaning but. poetom. The poetom there's an accusative case, it's receiving the calling. All right, the word add is a preposition. I told you that prepositions are always ablative case. This is an exception. This preposition is always going to be followed by accusative case. It means towards. Now we go. I sail. Ad insulam. I sail towards the islands. So commit that to memory that ad means to or towards, and it's always accusative case. And then cum meaning with, so you could say, now we go, I sail, cum quella. I sail with the girl. And cum is an adjective, always followed by just normally ablative case. I'm sorry, cum is a preposition, sorry. Always followed by ablative case, and it means with. We can do that.